is the Big O Show.
Where can you take $10,000 off the 2026 Acura MDX? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink, be the maestro of your own home.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Come on in to Toyota of Hollywood, where curiosity and extraordinary deals await you. Your golden ticket buys a 2025 Corolla, not $26,000, $17,988. And we've got sweet deals with 0% financing for 72 months, 0 down. Enter our world of wonder, and we'll show you why we're the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
That would be good if I actually added myself live. Welcome aboard. How y'all doing out there? Blessings. That's what it is today. Blessings. Cinco de Mayo. You get to go have a drink. Get to go have some fun. Jump in a Green River in Chicago or something. I don't know. Whatever it is you want to do. That's St. Patty's Day, right? They don't do that for Cinco de Mayo. But anyway, wherever you're at, celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Have a nice old beer or anything that you, whatever kind of libation you want to enjoy. It is a beautiful Tuesday, May 5th. Hope you all are doing well out there. Just got great news, man. Just like the psychedelic furs are coming to the Fillmore. Yeah, in Miami Beach. They're going to have Living Color open up. That is a good show, dude. September 6th. Definitely going to be there for that one. Tickets go on sale Friday, so I will definitely be there. I love seeing the Furs live, and I've seen Living Color several times, and they're excellent. So look forward to that. I remember the first time I saw them when they were big, when they broke out with what's it called, Cult of Personality, and I think I saw them either. Now I'm confused. Did they open up for Van Halen, or did they open up for Van Halen and Rush? But I forgot which one I saw first at the Sportatorium. And that I don't remember now. Which one came first? I want to say it was Van Halen came first with Living Color, and then I saw him again opening up for Rush, like shortly after that. Like, I don't know, months later, a year later, or something like that, they were back and opening up for Rush. They're at the Sporto. One of you out there might have done the same thing that I did at the Sporto back in the 80s, early 80s back then, right? Anyway, welcome aboard. Hope you all are doing well out there. I know I'm feeling fantastic, obviously. You know, the inevitable, as we tell you. We're already at 81. Maybe work our way to 82 today. The Dow, by the way, is up 237 points. The S&P is up 51. The NASDAQ is down 2 points. As for Bitcoin, we are holding right now at 81,586. Nope, 81,332 right now is where we're at. All right, all right, all right. And don't forget, folks, smash the hell out of the like button. Very important when you're watching. And you can also make a donation to the show. Another way to support us. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Appreciate you all as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you out there. Appreciate it. Anyway, David Furones will join us today to talk a little Miami Dolphins. Fins made some cuts yesterday. We'll go over that. We'll go over another interesting Dolphin story, how we're reaching nowadays. I mean, it's just sports right now is in local sports. We're in desperation mode. Okay? sports right now locally is in some dire straits, dude. It is tough to do sports talk, sports reports, whatever it is, because there isn't much going on, right? And yesterday I'm watching Channel 7, like I usually do. I like to watch Channel 7. I watch 4, I watch 10 a little bit, all that kind of stuff, 6 too. I watch most of the local channels. I bounce around and all that. But I'm watching 7 yesterday for a specific reason. I wanted to see the sports update, right? So Josh comes on, and they open with the Marlins, which, okay, they're playing and all that. Then they show the Yankees, okay? Then they show Savannah Banana type baseball with a guy on a surfboard trying to bat. This is the local sports report. Then they go to a Panthers podcast where Gustav Forsling is talking about, the offseason and all that other stuff. And, cool stuff for, I don't mind. It's just, it shows you they had to go get video from a Panthers podcast in order to make their sports cast put together. And then they closed it out with the NHL playoffs. By the way, the Marlins are in their regular season. Do you know who also is in their regular season? Inter Miami. You have the biggest player in the world, and Channel 7 doesn't give a shit. You hearing that, Moss? 10, 7, 4, 6. They don't talk about you guys, dude. That's your problem. That's because you've alienated South Florida. You just want everybody to show up, and you're not doing it the American way. Your players aren't actually getting close to the fans. They're not selling the sport. You're not doing what Ray Hudson did. You're not doing what all the Fusion players did back in the day when they were trying to make their run. They were selling the sport. They were doing interviews. What a concept, right? So I'm watching a Monday night that there's nothing going on. You have a team that just won a championship, and nobody gives a shit about the Inter Miami squad. Maybe that's the way you want it. I mean, but don't complain when you see the game in Orlando City last week and a ton of empty seats. Maybe they paid for the tickets, but they certainly didn't pay for anything else in the stadium. So, whatever. You guys want to keep doing the way you're doing it? There you go. And then the other desperation, just to have a little fun with all of this, okay? We've got an article that's being written locally where it says, the article reads, Juju Brents versus Jason Marshall. Cornerback battle. Okay, I forgot which one in the Palm Beach Post. Maybe it's Joe Shad, I think, that wrote it. I don't think it's Hal. Maybe it's Joe. Either one, whatever. You can go read it if you want. Joe does a terrific job, and so does Hal. But it's funny how desperate they've become, and myself and everybody else, that this is what you're talking about. I mean, I remember when we were talking about, can Pat Surtain unseat Terrell Buckley in his first year, which he didn't, by the way. But just because people have short-term memories, and they don't realize that even great players sometimes took a little bit to kind of get it going. Like Jason Taylor wasn't Jason Taylor until like year 3 is when he really started to become Jason Taylor, things like that. But like the storylines back in the day were, can rookie Pat Surtain unseat veteran Terrell Buckley? No, now we're talking about a Juju Brents versus Jason Marshall battle. We are deep into the offseason, deep into desperation mode. The Heat are out. The Panthers are out. They have left us with nothing. They've left us with Savannah Banana surfboard batting. They've left us with Juju Brents versus Jason Marshall. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. Oh, I saw that and I'm like, wow, you've got to be pretty desperate to be reading up about Juju Brents versus Jason Marshall at this point. That's kind of funny. By the way, our friends at R&M Contractors, Ray and Mike, they do excellent work, complete remodels, kitchen upgrades, waterproofing your terrace, balcony, flood test report, impact windows, door installations, bathroom upgrades, floor restoration. If you want to see how exceptional, if you want it done right, and you take your house, you take pride in your house, and you want it to look great, and you want exceptional work and done right, so nobody's coming back to fix it or whatever, or they did it wrong or whatever. RMC Fisher Island. Check it out on Instagram, RMC Fisher Island. Go check out all their work. It'll blow you away. They can do whatever you need. You want to do a sauna, you want to do a whole backyard, you want to do a second floor, you want to do an extra room, you want to redo the entire living room, kitchen, whatever it is, bathrooms, they can do any of that stuff for you. Full contractors. They know how to get it done. Ray and Mike, good people. 305-345-3649. That's 305-345-3649. R&M Contractors. And we thank Ray. Don't forget, folks, you can visit our friends at Caneswear. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. Online, and remember, online, if you order over $99, you'll get free shipping. Okay, they got anything and everything with the Canes logo. They got Dolphins gear, Marlins gear, Panthers gear, Inter Miami gear, all of that. So go to caneswear.com and use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. All right? All right. Don't forget, Cash App or Venmo. You can use the QR codes you're seeing there to make a donation. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can send in your questions, comments, and insults. All right. Today, by the way, besides being Cinco de Mayo, 2026, it is day number 19,105 since the Miami Dolphins won the Super Bowl. It is day number 8,888 since the Canes were national champions. And today's day number 4,701 since, of course, the Miami Heat were world champions. So that is what's going on today on Le Programme. Let's see what we got here. Jeff in Long Island. Good to see you, my brother. Jay Bird in the house. Thank you, sir. Big Johnson, Cosa Nostra. It's Tequila Tacos Day. There you go. I like it. Horn Dog is in the house. Thank you. Lenny Pena. Let's see. Gus 1388. What else? Let's see. NorCal says 5-5-26 could be the 5 burpees, 5 push-ups, 26 rounds. Let's go. Well, yesterday I did a little walking and jogging yesterday, so that was good actually. Did a little bit of that. I did like 3 miles. I think it was 3.6 miles or something yesterday. So that was very good. That was fun. John Esslinger, Daddy Dean in the house. Ray Varnicus. I highly recommend Rock and Roll Tequila Mangoes, owned by Dan Marino for Cinco de Mayo. It's called, wait a minute. I highly recommend Rock and Roll Tequila Mango, owned by Dan Marino for Cinco de Mayo. I don't know. Is that like a place called Rock and Roll Tequila Mango, or is that a drink called Rock and Roll Tequila Mango that Marino created? You got me there, Ray. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. I'm not really necessarily much of a drinker, so, but cool. Oh, comes in a guitar-shaped bottle. So it is a bottle. Okay, I see. So it's called Rock and Roll Tequila Mango. Okay. All right. And you could do shots. Okay. Cosa. Let's see. Big O, I remember Jason Taylor got better and better and better until he started Dancing with the Stars. Exactly. Yeah. The first couple of years, he would get banged up a little bit. They ran on him because he was light, And then by the third year, his body had filled out more. He was able to hold the point a lot better. And then he just really, that third year was really kind of the magical year for Jason, is when he kind of blossomed. What is the best place to eat Mexican food in Miami? Yeah. I guess that's a question that is very subjective, my friend. You know, I'll tell you what. There's a place in Hollywood, it is Hollywood Boulevard, but I think it's one street off. It's called Orale. It's a Mexican restaurant. It's right off of the corner, okay, and it's called Orale. They do an excellent job. That I can tell you. Okay, Hollywood, right there in that main strip where all the restaurants are at and all that. You'll see it. It's called Orale. Orale. Check that one out, Frankie. I don't know where you are by Hollywood, but if you're close by, okay. The great Mike Fox says, question of the day, what's your favorite concept album? Operation Mindcrime from the great Queensryche has to be considered top 3 for sure. Nostradamus from the Mighty Priest is great too. Pink Floyd, The Wall, bro. You know? If I'm going to go with a concept album, that's one right there that I got to go with. Pink Floyd, The Wall. That is one of the greatest concept albums ever, period. End of story. But, I mean, Operation Mindcrime is definitely in there, for sure. For sure. Let's see. Fins Nation UK. What's up, baby? Thank you. Great job, Big O. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah. Well, I just got to keep working at this, man, and just I've kept my weight down. Now I'm trying to go to the next level of getting rid of the last 30 pounds. That's what I need now. Now I need to get rid of the last 30 pounds so I can get to the point where I'm skinny. Because I'm not skinny. I'm fat still. So you got to get skinny. That's the next one. Drop all this fat inside my body. Got to do that. I have inherited the last 2 months now, a strong habit of fruits, eating a lot of fruits, and dropping a lot of the carbs that I had in my system. And I was, I like to go to Fresh Market. They've got these homemade oatmeal cookies that they do, and they're pretty good. So that's one thing I cut out. They also do these apple danishes that I like to have a couple every week. I've cut those out. I'm trying to cut out all that kind of stuff now so I can go and drop the next 30. Now that I've kept the 40 off, now I need to drop the next 30 and kind of, okay. And then when I get to that point, then I do the same thing when I drop to 40 is, okay, I figure out what's the food I have to eat in the day or throughout the few days to kind of maintain the weight. Because that's one thing that you do figure out as you start changing your lifestyle. You start figuring out what you can and cannot eat and what affects you and what doesn't nearly as much. So I'm trying to get, if I'm going to get some sugars in me, it'll be good sugars, not bad sugars, is what I'm trying to do. So we'll see, folks. It's a battle every day of my life. Pat in Asheville says, I prefer Tom Brady's tequila. It's called Deflate. I like it. There's a really good spot in Oakland Park area, store and restaurant. What, you got a name or something? Do we get an extra roster spot? Yes, you do. Yeah, he doesn't count against the regular roster spot. Seydou Traore. Yeah. He is one interesting cat because hopefully he can make that next step. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he's the guy that can be one of those European guys that they find and actually becomes impactful. I think that would be a super cool thing. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. George Ramirez, sir, thank you, my friend, for the love on Venmo. He says, Big O, change my channel name from Miami Breaker 305. Just wanted to show some love. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I appreciate you, as always, supporting us here on the show, Ming. What else? Sergeant Pepper is up there. That's a good one, too. That's a very good one. Yeah. Did you see the NFL video showing the Dallas Cowboys and Miami Dolphins draft trade? No, I did not. Did not see it. Rumors have it New England Patriots head coach is going to resign. Nah, that's not going to happen. Dude, we're talking about the Patriots, Dolphin Dave. Why would he resign? Did you see the meeting with the season ticket holders last week? They gave him a standing ovation. This is a man's sport, dude. John F. Kennedy was banging everybody behind the scenes. They looked the other way. It's been going on forever, dude. If you're a successful CEO or whatever it is that you do in life, that is infidelity is not going to bring you down, my man. This isn't college football where you're an academic institution. And if you're, subjecting an employee to sexual harassment, that's a whole different ballgame. Because I've seen, who's the idiot that did it out there? I forgot. Somebody out there, some talking head. And he was like, whoa, why didn't they show the same thing with, what's going on with Michigan? It's like, bro, the Michigan thing is completely different, you idiot. This is the pros, dude. Nobody gives a shit who you're banging. The Vrabel problem is Mrs. Vrabel's problem, not the Patriots. He did his job last year for the Patriots while banging Rossini. So why the owner that got caught at an Asian day spa is going to fire Mike Vrabel? The owner that was doing a video with a 21-year-old half drunk, which he was banging her, months or a year later after his wife died, he's going to go fire Vrabel. The owner that drafted a murderer that was killing people part-time while he was playing football. That owner. The owner that allowed a coach to continue to cheat as much as possible, even if he got caught. That owner. Because that's worse, actually, than banging some reporter. See what I'm saying? We're talking about the organization that had a convict go out on a snow machine back in the day to go clean out for a field goal. This is what we're talking about. The Patriots have a long history. Just ask Lisa Olson. She saw all kinds of Patriot missiles. So all of a sudden, Dolphin Dave, you think they're going to find some moral compass somewhere? The New England Patriots are going to find a moral compass. Really? Really? It's cute. It's cute. Let's see. Jeff in Long Island, Electromundo, Frankie Fresco. What else? What else? Big O, I forgot the name of the brother Cameron takes me there when I'm in town. Stoners forget the name. If you get good, they won't fire you. If you suck, they will fire you. Exactly. Exactly. Right. Urban Meyer, stanky fingers. You're useless in Jacksonville. Get out of here. In Florida, 35 arrests. 35 arrests while Urban Meyer was winning titles there. 35 arrests. All the guy had was criminals going through the Gator program back in the day. Great job, Frankie. And nice of you being very objective about your own, piece of shit. Nice job by you, bro. I like that. I really like that. That's when you're objective. That is beautiful, bro. Beautiful. I like that, dude. Way to go. Objective on your turd. That is big. All right. Furones is ready to go.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rayon Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayon has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. How you feeling, my man? Feeling good?
Yeah, feeling good. How about yourself?
I cannot complain, man. Although, let me get my headphones. I'd rather have the headphones on when I'm doing the freaking.
Oh, that's right. You had a problem with them last time. You nearly
strangled.
strangled.
Last time I was fumbling. Yes, I was Sammy Smithing the bitch. Anyway, I wanted to ask you your thoughts yesterday. Dolphins made some cuts. Doesn't look like much, but give us some insight on what was it, like 7 people that were cut yesterday?
Yeah, I mean it's basically what I see it as is the space being created on the roster for the undrafted signings, which aren't official yet. They haven't been announced. I think they'll make those official probably on rookie minicamp day on Friday. I believe. These things, it's hard to remember because like they only happen once a year, but I think that's how it's been the other times. When I counted, they had 10 that I am aware of undrafted guys, and they were at 86 with the draftees before they agreed to terms with those 10. They could be at 91 total because they have one extra in the offseason because they have an international player in Seydou Traore, the Mississippi State tight end who comes from London. So they can have 91, they're at 86, and they were signing 10. So if you do the math, they need to cut 5. They actually cut 7. So now there's actually 2 extra spots available on the roster. So, I mean, a couple things that stand out is that they were previously on board with 2 punters and 2 long snappers. So now they cut 1 of each. So for the time being, we have the winner of the punting competition before OTAs even starts, which is Bradley Pinion, the veteran, as Seth Vernon was cut, and the long snapper is Tucker Addington. He had a quick cup of coffee with the team a couple years ago when Blake
behind the scenes, those guys completely sucked or something during this last couple of weeks, huh? They must have had some practices out there, and the guy was just whiffing it left and right or something, right?
I want to know what's going on that as a punter and a long snapper, you got cut before even the first OTA. There was something like that.
Well, the long snapper thing, I know what they do. They put them out on the field, and they have like beer bottles, and they tell them, all right, you got to hit it from a distance.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't doing good hitting the beer bottles. And the coaches need you to hit the beer bottle because the beer bottle you hit, they get to drink. So they weren't drinking a lot, fortunately, because he was missing all over the place, and he was ruining their party. The other long snapper was doing a fantastic job. He was hitting every beer bottle. They were all drunk and wasted. They were calling Ubers to get home and everything. Fantastic. That's really what happened in the offseason. No, but seriously, like what happens in an offseason that all of a sudden you decide, yeah, no, you suck. We are out of here. You're not going to get it done. You haven't even done anything yet. So they must do something on the side, right? Something.
Yeah. And you know what? Considering that there were 2 extra cuts, that means there's 2 spots available. I wonder if, it might be so that you have some other rookie minicamp tryout players out there. So you have a couple spots, just see who you like and bring them on. Or if it's actually another punter or long snapper that they're going to say, all right, these 2 guys, they're not getting it done, but we're going to bring in a couple other guys to still push the ones that we have slotted as the starters. So because, I mean, John Eric Sullivan said competition at every position, and then he took it literally when it was like, oh, there's 2 long snappers, there's 2 punters, everything. So Chris Tabor, the new special teams coordinator, he's got options there. So right now, 1 punter, 1 long snapper, and then maybe with those 2 spots, they bring in someone at those positions to still compete, or it's just, some other guys that they end up liking at the rookie minicamp this weekend.
I think you got to get ready for something, my brother. The flow year, the first year where there was constant bringing in of players and dumping of the back end of the roster, I would imagine this is the season of that it's going to happen. Maybe not to the extreme of flow, by the way, but I think it's going to happen to a certain extent because, dude, it's football. You're going to have injuries. You don't have a complete roster. There's no freaking way. It'll be hard to have a complete roster through 2 years. It'll take you really 3 or 4 for Sully and Half, and hopefully they're good enough. But it'll take them like 3 or 4 years to really get the roster where they really want to get it to. So this is a year where you can see a lot of what you saw yesterday happen throughout the season.
I could totally see it. I remember I was on the UM beat that 2019 season, watching from afar. And actually in the offseason, I had filled in on a couple of like OTAs and whatnot. So I got to see a little bit of that operation just in my time off before I got on the Canes beat. And then I remember just watching it from afar and covering the Canes season and then seeing that that first week of 2019, the Ravens score, the week 2 against the Patriots, those 2 home losses. And like, I was there thinking, man, this might be the least talented roster in the history of football. It was amazing that they did end up winning 5 games by the end of it, but I could totally see something similar playing out where, especially since John Eric Sullivan has said multiple times that player acquisition is a 365-day process. That means that in season, there's going to be a lot of movement, especially when it's a lot of guys that are just borderline fringe roster spot players that are just vying for their opportunity. And then if someone doesn't get it done, then someone else is going to be brought in. And those players that are on right now, they can be expendable. So, yeah, I can see a lot of that. We're just, all right, you're out, you're in. Let's see who gets it done, and then we're going to see who the players are we can move forward with. And maybe you end up with like a Zach Sealer who came out of that year as a player who's still on the roster now to this day, but he was a late season pickup off waiver claims when he was with the Ravens before that.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what you want. You want to try to find some kind of a diamond in the rough, and because you don't have a complete roster, it kind of gives you the luxury of taking chances, because sometimes when you have a roster you like, you can't necessarily free people up because you're afraid to lose them. You can't even put them on a practice squad or anything. You've got to keep them on the active roster or some kind of injured list in order to kind of maintain, their ownership of it. So this is the time to do this stuff. Now, Isaiah Johnson and Jason Maitre are 2 guys that did make some buzz. These 2 make sense because they didn't pass physicals. So unfortunately, they did not return from the injuries the way you'd like. And I got to tell you, man, the Isaiah Johnson kid is one that had always intrigued me because of his size, man. Yeah,
physical at the line of scrimmage. Him and Maitre both showed a lot of flashes going back, especially 2 training camps ago. They had the 3 undrafted corners that, especially with a need at corner, you kind of thought, oh, okay, one of them can really make some noise here. And it is unfortunate because you see these guys, those training camps when you cover them, and I remember seeing you a lot. We talked about these players, and you hope one of them can be one of those diamond in the roughs that really develop into something. Another one for me is the edge rusher Derek McClendon, who had a great camp last year and great preseason. Was really rushing the passer well. I remember talking to him late last season because he did get a chance elevated for those last couple of games once the Dolphins were out of it and they were bringing guys up to see what they can do. And, he knew that, yes, he needs to set the edge better. He's got the pass rush game down, but he needs to develop his special teams play because that's the way you make these last spots on the roster. So he wasn't getting it done on special teams. Some players that you kind of wanted to see something out of, but just this is life in the NFL.
Yeah. David, I talked about this yesterday, and I want to run it by you because it's going to be like a running type of, storyline. When we talk about, Arch Manning, and when we talk about the gamble with Malik Willis, and then we go through the history of Damon Heward that went 5-1, a Matt Moore that won a few games for you, a Fitzpatrick that won a couple of games for you, all those kind of things. How frustrating would it be that at the end of the year, if the gamble that Stephen Ross along with Sully took, that you hired Sully went out after Malik, and Malik's not necessarily the guy, but he did enough to knock you out of that first couple of spots in the draft where you're not convinced with Malik, but you have no shot at Arch. Just out of curiosity, because this is a gamble that we're all hoping that you don't even have to think about Arch. We're all hoping that Malik Willis is the bomb and he really is ready to take off and yada, 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 all that kind of stuff. That would be the perfect world. But if it's not the perfect world and he does not convince, but yet he knocks you out of the Arch sweepstakes, I mean, it kind of reminds you of what you did with Tua, that you could have had Burrow if you really tanked and you didn't. And now you ended up with Tua, and you ended up with the option that is the lesser option, out of the two. What do you think about that? Because that is the disturbing part about this gamble, that if the kid doesn't work out and you don't end up with Arch, holy crap.
That is always the ultimate fear in these scenarios. And we've seen it so many times, like you mentioned, with the Dolphins. But for me, I look at it as a lot of these top draft pick quarterbacks in recent memory in the past 2 decades, they haven't gotten it done with the team that they were drafted to. I mean, now we just saw Sam Darnold, who was a number 3 pick, win the Super Bowl, but it took him several stops later before he got into a situation and he developed his game in order to get to that point. So I look at more as it's who you draft. Josh Allen wasn't the number 1 pick. Patrick Mahomes wasn't the number 1 pick.
Wait a minute.
Jackson wasn't.
Hold on a second, dude. We just had this conversation.
I know. Yeah, we do.
No, it's not. Sam Darnold ended up with Snyder in Seattle, where he knows how to hire coaches. He knows how to turn over rosters. He already won one with 1 Super Bowl with a completely different team and won another Super Bowl with a completely different team, completely different quarterback, completely different head coach. In fact, a young head coach. You know what I'm saying? So what happens in Green Bay every time? It's because you have everything in place that allows any young quarterback to at least reach whatever their max is going to be. You gave them that environment. The Rams give the environment to their quarterback. Seattle gives the environment to their quarterback. Green Bay gives the environment to their quarterback. Joe Gibbs did it over and over again. It's very important, the person that's in charge of the environment, to create it for the quarterback, because that's why you see some quarterbacks actually leave shitty places, i.e. Miami, i.e. the Jets, i.e. Cleveland Browns, and then they have to go somewhere else, because sometimes even other quarterbacks come to those places and they can't succeed because the environment is not a good one. You know what I mean? Steve Young. I always give that example. You're too young for that, but Steve Young was a monster at BYU. Absolute monster. Then he gets drafted by the USFL and he goes to the LA Express, a monster again. But then the USFL closes and he's got to go to the NFL. The Bucks own his rights. He played like shit, because back then they were the Yucks, not the Bucks, just like the Aints and all that. And then he ends up in a trade to San Francisco, and the rest is history. Steve Young is back on track and ends up with a title. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's and again, that was Walsh creating an environment for Montana, creating an environment for Steve Walsh. I mean, for Steve Young. You know what I'm saying? That to me is the most important thing, is the guy at the top creating the environment for all players to succeed.
Well, then, if you need that environment, I don't think you're establishing it for Arch Manning as the number 1 pick. If you, off the bat, set up a culture where you are tanking from year 1, if you're actively tanking and creating that culture year 1, then you're not setting up that environment. there's ways to go about it. Like you have to establish a culture first, and then if that culture ends up winning you games, that because it's not all going to be Malik Willis that did it and won you all these games. It would be a lot of what you're saying, that the offensive line was set up right to block in front of them. That now wide receiver core doesn't look like it's set up there for him yet, but if pieces develop there, if the run game is there for him, set up well to have him succeed, if the defense does more and they win you some games, all in all, now you're establishing a culture which. So it's hard to do both. It's hard to do both. And for Malik Willis, maybe it was his Tennessee years that were like you gave those examples. Those were his. Those were his years in a situation where he couldn't win, and then he went to Green Bay and developed his game. And then now, if this is Green Bay South, then maybe he could continue on that progression. As a lot of teams, it wasn't just the Dolphins were high on him in this free agency class. A lot of the quarterback needy teams. So. I still like it because you're taking a shot to find your quarterback, and then if your draft position suffers in the end, then which a lot of the mock drafts and stuff still have the Dolphins being like that one or two team. Right. On paper,
remember, a lot of those people are probably like me. They don't think Malik Willis is the guy. You know what I'm saying? So in the end, I don't expect the Dolphins to be like I've told everybody, take the under 4.5. They will struggle in 2 to 3 games. They will. They're going to be a bad team. They definitely will. But I've seen that kind of shit happen here where you're a bad team, but you luck out on a couple of wins. And then,
we saw that 2019 team win 5 games, all right? If the 2019 team can win 5 games.
And that was specifically for a quarterback. But the life of the Dolphin fan has been a team that is really never tanking, but they're always middling, and they're always struggling to get to 7, 8, or 9 wins. You know what I mean? Which puts you in the middle again and puts you out of the quarterback race on a consistent basis. In 2019, it was beautifully laid out for you that you could have taken advantage of it. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with that. If you're going to have a terrible year, fine. If you have the right people, you can build from that terrible year on. By the way, you have set up your team to fail. You have set up your team to pretty much organically tank. There's very little experience on this team.
Absolutely.
Very little good players on this team. There's no reason you should win a lot of games. So organically, he has set it up to tank. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't just turn if you rebuild and take on $170 million in dead cap space, then there's no way you're putting together a roster that season. And you move off your quarterback, you move off the star receiver, you move off the top 2 edge rushers. Like there's no way you're setting up that team for the next season to really win a lot of games. So you have to take your lumps 1 year in order to then stack one draft class with another one next year and a free agency class when you finally have some money to spend. And then you have the season to see what Malik Willis can do with an opportunity. So, I mean, I like it just because you've got a shot to see if you've got a quarterback. And then if you don't, then you don't. And then you're in that quarterback sweepstake for this coming draft class. Now the only thing is you've got him on like 2 of those guaranteed money years, and then your first out is after the next one. So if you do draft one high, you've got like some competition, which is fine. Like you got Malik Willis going with that rookie quarterback in next year's class, then that's fine. And then eventually you transition. You take a shot, and then even if it's not Arch Manning at number 1. You don't know if down the road, because then I'm not even going to judge it by what their draft position is for the next draft class. I'm going to judge it by what these quarterbacks end up doing with their teams a few years down the road, because it might be that the third quarterback taken at number 6 or whatever is actually ends up better off than number 1 if it's Arch Manning there, or you never know. Like in 2019, you thought it was going to be Tua, and then at number 1, and then he has a hip injury, And then as the Dolphins won some games and picked at number 5, they still ended up picking Tua at that position instead. So you never know how these things pan out. It's still a long ways away. Start of last season, we definitely weren't convinced on Arch Manning when we saw how we started the year, and then he picked it back up, and he's also at Texas, which has a similar offense.
I never got off the bandwagon. Sure. I'm patient.
But he was shaky. He was shaky in that Ohio State game. I was like, why is there all this hype about him? He's throwing the ball. He's missing by 3 yards on every receiver. He looks nervous as hell.
Yeah, they didn't have a good line, and they didn't have a running game, and yet he still got better as the year went on.
He got better as the year went on.
Yeah. We just had a guy, Sam Kahn, on who covers Texas football and all the colleges in Texas, and he gave us a nice breakdown of Arch. So I listen, man. I've lived Archie, I've lived Peyton, and I lived Eli. There's no way that I'm going to question Arch. He needs to fail.
What about Cooper? What about?
No, but Cooper really wasn't ever in college like kicking ass or anything like that. Never really a star football player. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. And then there's the other Marshall Manning coming up now. I would never doubt a Manning at all. They need
that's
to.
A good point. Yeah,
they would to fail for me to say, okay, that one didn't work out.
Yeah,
but
you'll have a tremendous backing.
Yeah, after watching the father and the 2 sons, that's not normal in the NFL. It's just not normal. And because of the high IQ that they put all their family through, it looks like it. That's why they get a chance to succeed. And I think Arch will succeed. And if the other kid is just, if he wants to play, I would not be surprised, bro, that if they would have success because they have the right preparation, in the process. So it's to me, I was never one of those guys that was doubting Manning. I need to see him really fail in order to get off that bandwagon, man. The history's too rich.
It is.
It's just too rich. What was I going to ask you? What do you got going on in the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out, my friends?
Actually, I just put out a story on Dante Trader, big role he's expected to play with this opportunity, with this secondary, the way it's set up. Didn't make a big safety signing. The team didn't address safety until the 5th round of the draft, unless Kyle Lewis, he's kind of like a tweener and linebacker safety. But Dante Trader, second year, he could really take some strides. So he'll have a big opportunity for himself. And today I'll write something. It might be on the versatility of some of those defensive draft picks. So I might talk about Kyle Lewis and Trey Moore, the couple of guys that they got in the 4th round, linebackers who are tweeners for different reasons. Kyle Lewis can play some of the safety, and Trey Moore can be some edge rusher and linebacker off ball as well. So maybe I'll touch on those since I still have those interviews kind of like in the back pocket and I haven't run them out there.
And Dante Trader actually showed us a little something last year that he seemed kind of intriguing, overall for the 5th round pick. It's deep in the off season when I go to the Palm Beach Post and they're breaking down the battle of Juju Brents versus Jason Marshall. We're reaching now. We're reaching for that. They have given you guys a roster that it's really hard to make stories out of.
That's going to be one of them. I'm intrigued by Jason Marshall and Juju Brents, baby. I want to see.
Here's the thing, and I gave the example because, of course, it's all in here. But I go, wow, what happened to the days of will rookie Pat Surtain unseat veteran Terrell Buckley? Now, that was a battle that I was intrigued at, which, by the way, Pat Surtain failed.
That first year, huh? Yeah, when they still had Buckley.
He was on the bench. So a lot of people, they start picking on rookies right away, and it's like they don't realize that it took Jason Taylor till his 3rd year. It took Pat Surtain year 2 to actually get on the field.
Yeah.
Okay, and be trusted.
Zach Thomas was right away.
And then Zach Thomas was from the first second he got on the field. It was just ridiculous. He cut Jack Del Rio right away. Jimmy came over, he signs, and then one of the first moves he did was needed a veteran. He brought in Jack Del Rio, the middle linebacker from Dallas that was with him, and he brought him over so he can play linebacker for him. Within the first week of camp, seeing Zach, he loved Jack Del Rio so much that he told him, hey, Jack, I cannot keep you on the roster. You're not going to make it. This kid is already going to move ahead of you. So I want to give you a chance to go find a job somewhere else, which was actually – Jimmy didn't do a lot of cool moves in his day. He was kind of a jerk in the Dolphin era, but that was one of the few cool moves that he made for an ex-player because he didn't string him along for the entire camp and preseason and then cut him. He cut him right away to give him a chance to see if he could. I think he shortly after that went into coaching.
Okay. Yeah. I never heard the story. I mean, I knew Jack Del Rio as a coach, watching football as a youngster, and then into like early adulthood, and I knew since I knew of him that he played linebacker in the past, but I didn't know this whole story about that he would actually jumped on board with the Dolphins, and then it was Zach Thomas's early surge that kind of sent him back in.
Yeah, because he was restocking and building the team back, so he needed some veteran leadership in Jack Del Rio at that point. And he was like an old veteran at that point. But yeah, Zach just shined from the get-go, bro. That was one thing. But a lot of other guys, it takes them a little bit to kind of get going and figure life out. By the way, Welton Rayom, Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom, proud sponsors of our program. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. If you suffer any kind of damage to your home, condo, car, never call the insurance company. You call Welton Rayom first. They send over their adjusters. They assess the damage, and then they attack the insurance company for you. 954-966-4646. The consultation's completely free. And I know bankruptcy is becoming a major issue in this country. There's a lot of foreclosures going on. People are unfortunately repos for their cars, foreclosures for their homes. People are backing out of home sales at record numbers. In fact, Florida is the number one state for real estate bankruptcy right now. So that is scary. Call Welton Rayom, explain your situation. The consultation is free. They can help you out. 954-966-4646. All right, my brother. Appreciate you as always. We will catch up on Friday, and don't forget to check out his Dante Trader article in the South Florida Sunset. No, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. David, as always, thank you, my brother. You're a stud.
Thank you. You too.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The great Alan Blanco. If you're looking for custom printing and embroidery, 786-618-1443. They do anything. Shirts, hats, uniforms, whatever it is you need. You're going on a field trip. You're having a big old picnic. You want everybody to have the same shirt so everybody can, easily, be found and all that stuff. Call them. They'll send them the logo and all that. They'll have it shipped to you right away, man. He's done it for many people all across the country. Doesn't matter where you live. 786-618-1443. Call Alan Blanco. Saturday at 7, Inter Miami will host Toronto. We'll visit Toronto. Inter is minus 100 on the money line. Toronto is plus 225. Also on Saturday at 7:30. Fort Lauderdale United will be hosting the Carolina Ascent at Beyond Bankcard Field. Remember, you can get your tickets at FTLUTD.com. Get your season tickets. Get ready for the men's season coming up in January. It'll be a lot of fun. In the NBA, I was shocked. I turned it on last night. I did not know that Ant-Man was playing. I thought he was out. I didn't even keep up with it. And oh, man, this is going to be a blowout. And I see Ant-Man's there. And they won 104-102, man. Ant-Man had 18 points. He also had 3 rebounds and a block. Wemby had 11 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 block shots. The 12 block shots were amazing. I think it's the second most in a playoff game. But when you shoot 5 of 17 and 0 of 8 from three-point range, that's why the Spurs lost. Wemby can get the rebounds and the blocks, but you scored 11 points. That did you in right there. Knicks, Sixers were tired. They blew them out 137-98. Knicks up 1-0 in this series. T-Wolves up 1-0 in their series. Tonight at 7, it's game 1. Cavs at Pistons. Pistons favored by 2.5. Over and unders 215.5. Cavs plus 125. Pistons minus 145 on the money line. 8:30 tonight. Lakers at Thunder. Thunder favored by 15.5 points. The over and under is 213.5. Lakers plus 650. Thunder minus 1,000. In the NHL, the draft lottery will take place, and the Florida Panthers have the 8th lowest point total. That gives them a 6% chance to win the first pick. It gives them a 6.2% chance to win the second pick, but there's a 54.4% chance that they'll end up with the 8th pick. Since it is under the top 10, it is lottery protected. They get to keep it. So rub that rabbit's foot, 4-leaf clover if you can find one. Go pray at the synagogue, the church, wherever it is that you pray, the mosque. Doesn't matter. Pray to whatever hockey gods you got. Let's see if the Panthers, after a bad luck year, can go out and win the lottery. That would be pretty freaking awesome. It's not like the kid's going to help you now anyways, but just would be so nice for the Panthers to win. That would be really, really cool. All right. Anyway, that is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Don't forget, folks, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can send in your questions, comments, insults, and Bitcoin is at 81,320. So it's kind of found a little spot there right now. The Dow has bounced back. It's up 326 points. The S&P is up another almost 54 points. Smoking. And the NASDAQ is down about 1.5. So another great day, no matter what the hell is going on with the craziness in the Gulf. So gotta be super happy. That's for sure. Better be super happy on that one. All right, what else do we have going on the chat board there? Let's see. And way to go, Lewis, on losing the weight, my brother. Keeping off 100 pounds is awesome, 110. That's studly. That's the hardest part. The second hardest part was losing the 110 pounds. Because, think about this. You lost 110 pounds over a certain amount of time, but you got to keep it off even longer. I lost my 40, and I've kept it off a lot longer than I lost it. Holy shit. Wow. Oh, I'm going to this. They just announced Squeeze, baby. Wow. Special guest Adam Ant, haircut 100. All right. I've never seen Squeeze, even though I don't get to see the whole complete lineup, but the singer's still there, so that's good. Wow, Squeeze. Nice. Coming to the Hard Rock Live August 20th. Tickets will go on sale Thursday, May 7th at 10 a.m. That is cool. That is that's cool for cats, baby. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. All right. All right, what else do we have going on in the world of sports? By the way, our friends at Acura of Pembroke Pines, they've always got it going on at 15601 Pines Boulevard. We'll be there, by the way, this Friday broadcasting live there at Acura Pembroke Pines. They've got the Spring into Performance sales event going on. Go see my guy Larry Schlossberg out there. If you own or lease an Acura, by the way, Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber, they do great work out there. So, and they got a great little service area. You can relax, take your laptop or work on your phone or whatever. And they got TVs. They got a little cafeteria, so you can have a pastelito, a drink, a snack, whatever it is. The 2026 Integra, $249 a month. First payment waived, baby, $450, up to $450. The new ADX 2026 model, $319 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX 2026 model, $399 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. And the MDX 2026 model, they have got it there, $499 a month. First payment waived up to $1,000. Get on down there, check it out. Go see Larry Schlossberg, 15601 Pines Boulevard. They will make you a great deal at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. Players are going to play for themselves. You can have a good locker room and not be a good team because you have a lot of young talent. Exactly. And that's what I see with our team this year. There's going to be a lot of struggles because, dude, you're young, you're green, and you're not very good. That's it. Unless you have the draft of all drafts and the 13 guys come in and like 11 of them are like starting and making plays all over the place. And something happens that like, yo, what the hell happened here? Like Sully was a monster. That's our saving grace. But rookies are going to be rookies, man. We have to be honest, and we have to be patient with rookies. We can't put the pressure of the world on them. Plus, they're not stepping into a place that's everything is ready and people around them can support them and help them look a little better and all that. That's not what exists here. That's what you're trying to build down the line for other young players. Remember, we talked about this with Mario, that at the beginning, he was going to have a lot of turnover. But once he got to years 4 and 5, he'll have a lot of players that have been in the system 2, 3, 4 years. And then your new recruits, they now will have a base of players that can give them leadership and support. Sully has not developed that yet. It takes a little while, man. We have to have patience. And I know. It sucks to have patience as a Dolphins fan. That's like a word that is just absolutely insulting. I get it. I can't wait for Half and Sully to prove O's negative ass wrong. On what? Prove me wrong on what? I don't know what you're talking about. What, that they're going to have a good year? Okay. All right. I'm sure. Did they prove me wrong last year? Because I told you it was going to be a shitty year. I'm just saying, did you say any of that? You following up with that, Ariel? Or who is it? Magnus? You following up with that? Because last year I said the year was going to suck. And did it suck? Because I bet you were one of the guys, oh, no, you're wrong, though. I'm just saying. When I told you two and a half months before that Tua was going to Atlanta, you got anything to say? I'm just wondering. That Mike McDaniel sucks? You got anything to say? Just saying. Yeah, no. I'm always wrong, dude. Yeah. Yeah, my batting percentage must be like 100. Not 900. But, you can go ahead. I love the people that go against me. You all end up looking 90% of the time, you look stupid, and then we never hear from you again because, you're quick to complain or criticize, but you never compliment. That is the common denominator from all the Magnuses of the world. They don't bother to chime in when you're right, but they can't wait for you to be wrong. Well, Magnus, you'll be waiting a long time, my brother. because it's going to be few and far between when it comes to local sports, period. Not just the Dolphins, local sports. But you go ahead, baby. I eat you people up like Pac-Man. Yater Castro, Ty in the Bronx, Ryan, Brian Landis, I see. El Gaucho is that Mexican Salvadorian restaurant. Where's it at? Squeeze puts on a great show. Oh, you'll enjoy it. I love Squeeze. Love Squeeze, dude. Love Squeeze. Can't wait to see him. Definitely want to do that. I've seen the others. I've seen Adamant. I've seen Haircut 100. Not a big deal. Cool. Good to see Nick and the boys at Haircut 100 and Adam. The good thing for Adamant, the part I'm really happy for Adamant, is that he was able to fix his life because he had some mental instabilities, unfortunately. Let's do this. Let's do birthdays today because we got some stuff today for some birthdays. Not only that, but I got to show you some funky stuff that was going on last night at the Met Gala. You're gonna freak out, okay? Whew. And some you'll be very impressed because there's one that looks very hot. May 5th, musicians, entertainers born on the 5th. First, we start off with musicians. And Chris Brown, the American singer, songwriter, actor, born in 1989, and also a criminal too, right? Adele, born in 1988, the phenomenal English singer. Gary Daly from China Crisis, which I have no idea who China Crisis is, but he was born on this date in 1962. Kevin Paul Mooney, bassist with the English band Adam and the Ants, which by coincidence, we just talked about them because they're opening up for Squeeze. We move into Steve Stevens, American guitarist, songwriter, and of course, Billy Idol's guitarist forever. Okay. He also did the lead work on the Top Gun anthem. And he also worked with Michael Jackson too. Steve Stevens. Ian McCullough, one of my favorite alternative new wave singers from the 80s, from Echo and the Bunnymen, and also from Electrifixion, which I love that. He also had solo stuff, which he did great on his solo stuff. Ian McCullough has had a heck of a career. Born in 1959. I'd like to see Echo and the Bunnymen one more time. Roddy Radiation, who played guitar with the Specials, born in 1955. Angelo Petraglia, record producer, songwriter, and he was a member of the new wave band Face to Face. He's also best known for his work with Kings of Leon. He co-wrote A Place in This World, a song on Taylor Swift's self-titled debut album, and has written songs for Trisha Yearwood, Martina McBride, Tim McGraw, the Black Keys, Leanne Womack, Brooks and Dunn. Angelo Petraglia. He's kind of talented. Now, the only thing is there's been a couple of different bands of Face to Face. And there was this one from the 80s that I like. They only had one song that I really like. It was called 1098. Now, there's another band that came after called Face to Face. I don't know if Angelo is part of the one that sung that song that I like, 1098, or the latter, Face to Face. Not exactly sure. I'm going to have to look that up on my own time after the show. Rex Go with the band Air Supply, guitarist for Air Supply, born in 1951. Bill Ward, one of the greatest drummers of all time with Black Sabbath, born in 1948. That is the one thing about Sabbath. Every one of them were exceptional musicians. Every one of them. Tammy Wynette, the legend, dude. U.S. country singer born in 1942. And American singer-songwriter Johnny Taylor, disco lady. Moving in, moving out, shove it in, shove it out, disco lady. Born in 1937. And yes, the song did go like that for you youngins, because you're probably hearing that going, what? Huh? Yeah, it did. All right, we move over to entertainers. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means, unfortunately, they have passed away, like political theorist Karl Marx, born in 1818. Chef cookbook author James Beard, born in 1903. My daughter would be proud that I mentioned a cook. Actor Michael Murphy, born in 1938. He is 87. Actor Lance Henriksen, born in 1940. He's 86. John Rhys Davies, born in 1944. He is 82. That's the guy from Sliders, right? Roger Rees, actor, born in 1944. Writer, TV personality, and this blew me away today. I saw this morning. Kurt Loder. Not that Kurt Loder's birthday is today. Kurt Loder was born in 1945, and he's 81 today. When I'm watching MTV, I had no idea that Kurt Loder was 20 years my major. I had no idea. I thought he was maybe 10 years older than me at that time. I had no idea. He's 81. Bless him, man. He has made it to 81. Like Bill Ward made it to 78 today. It's awesome. It's pretty cool to make it that deep, right? Let's see. Who else? TV newsman Brian Williams, born in 1959. He's 67. Actress Danielle Fishel, born in 1981. She's 45. Actor Henry Cavill, born in 1983. He's 43. Model Hannah Jeter, born in 1990. She's 36. U.S. figure skater Nathan Chen, first to land 6 quad jumps in Olympic program in 1999. She was born 27. And actress Jenna Davis, born in 2004. She's 22. And those are birthdays today on May 5th. All right. Before I continue, give me 30 seconds.
Come on in to Toyota of Hollywood, where curiosity and extraordinary deals await you. Your golden ticket buys a 2025 Corolla, not $26,000, $17,988. And we've got sweet deals with 0% financing for 72 months, 0 down. Enter our world of wonder, and we'll show you why we're the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
All right, folks. Thank you for your patience. Let's move over to what happened today in music history. And we start off in 1962. The soundtrack to the West Side Story was #1 on the U.S. album charts. It went on to spend a total of 54 weeks at the #1 position. Wow. In 1969, the Beatles single, Get Back to Where You Once Been, had its U.S. release in 1980. John Lennon claimed there was some underlying thing about Yoko in there, suggesting that Paul McCartney looked at Yoko in the studio every time he sang, Get Back to Where You Once Belonged. All right, here we go. In 1972, Paul Simon, Chicago, and Carole King all performed at a benefit concert for U.S. President candidate George McGovern. I don't care about the candidate, but man, that's a concert I want to go to. Jesus. In 1978, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band released their 10th studio album, Stranger in Town. It features the singles, You're Still the Same, and Hollywood Nights, We Got Tonight, and Old Time Rock and Roll. 4 like monster freaking hits. Wow. In 79, Peaches and Herb started a 4-week run at number one on the U.S. singles charts with Reunited. Let's see. And It Feels So Good. In 92, John Cicada released his English debut solo album, John Cicada, and it features Just Another Day, which was a huge song. Do You Believe in Us? And Angel. It's a cool song, too, Just Another Day. They're a great song. If I remember correctly, Emilio Estefan was the producer of that record, I think. In 97, Paul McCartney released his 10th solo studio album, Flaming Pie, and it features the singles Young Boy, The World Tonight, and Beautiful Night. In 2005, Justin Timberlake underwent an operation at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles to remove nodes from his throat. In 2014, you'll remember this, well, some of you, Solange Knowles lunged at Jay-Z in the elevator while headed to a gala at the Standard Hotel in New York. The footage, which leaked out on TMZ, showed the confrontation before a security guard restrained Solange. Beyonce later mentioned the incident in her song Flawless when she sings, of course, sometimes shit goes $1 billion on an elevator. In 2016, the Rolling Stones told what everyone tells Donald Trump, stop playing their song during his presidential campaign. Have you noticed that? No artist wants to be, outside of sad-ass Kid Rock, but every artist tells them, hey, yo, bro, don't use my music. The band issued a statement saying that he did not have permission to use the band's music. Their 69 hit, You Can't Always Get What You Want, had been a popular song at his rallies. Like low prices, low gas prices, low inflation. You can't always get what you want. No more wars. You can't always get what you want. In 2020, Jamaican singer Millie Small died at the age of 72 after suffering a stroke. The star was most famous for her hit single, My Boy Lollipop, which reached number 2 in the US and the UK in 1964. It remains one of the biggest selling ska songs of all time with more than 7 million sales. And let me see if there were any birthdays that weren't on the other list. I'm telling you, the Kurt Loder one blew me away. I did not realize he was. Did any of you realize he was 81? Like, wow. Or did it freak you out like me? No birthdays there. That's what happened today in music history. Don't forget, folks, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults. You can also use the QR codes there at the same time. The Miami Dolphins. I see Warren Sharp now. I always temper all of this stuff because it's not really ever accurate, pretty much. You can't go schedule predicting ever. You don't know all the time, most of the time actually, which teams are really going to be good and which teams are going to really be bad. And then sometimes you're also playing them at a moment that is vulnerable. Or sometimes you play them at a moment where your team is vulnerable and they weren't that vulnerable 5 weeks later because now they're healthy and they got a certain people back. That's why I don't like playing the schedule game. But Warren Sharp, who does a great job of crunching numbers, I've had him on my show in the past. He put together the 5 teams that are going to have the 5 easiest schedules in the NFL this year. The Lions, the Saints, the Bengals, I can't even understand my chicken scratch there on the 4th one. But I'll go with Jets in the 5th one. I don't know who the 4th one is. Now I'm trying to figure out my chicken scratch. Browns. That's what it is, Browns. So Lions, Saints, Bengals, Browns, and Jets are going to have the easiest schedule in the NFL, according to Warren Sharp. The 5 teams headed for the hardest schedule, according to Warren Sharp: Rams 1, Cowboys 2, Panthers 3, Dolphins 4, Cardinals 5. If there's any truth to this, and it does work out that way, especially for, what is it, Magnus? Anyway, you can see that their lack of talent, their lack of experience, the fact that maybe Malik is not the guy, and if you really do have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL, which, by the way, for the Dolphins, any schedule will be hard because they're a bad team. Any schedule is hard for them. And they were much better last year with the veteran players that they had compared to what you have now. I'm just trying to prepare you guys, okay? Not a financial advisor, not a betting expert, never have been, never will be, not a music expert, nothing. I don't know anything. But betting the 4.5, and you see this kind of also information that's sharp, and he likes to crunch the numbers. I got to tell you, folks, check it out. That might be one. I don't, you know me, I don't make that bet. I don't like rooting against my team. I can't sit there just to make a bet and root. I have to sit there and root for them to win, no matter, even if I know they're not going to win. Okay? Even if I know they're not going to win. So let's get to a little Met Gala. Oh, here's Beyonce at the Met Gala. What do you think about that last night? You know, she looks good there. I mean, well, Beyonce can make anything look good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people aren't going to go out to normal parties dressed like this. But this one, at least, is not as ridiculous as some of the ones that you will see. Okay? Because I will show you a few others today. But, you know, not bad, right? Not bad. And, of course, it's Beyonce. It's impossible for Beyonce to look bad. Now let me show you a couple of other ones. Okay. Now we're going to go with Heidi Klum. There you go. There's Heidi Klum for you. The only thing I will give credit to Heidi Klum is that she's working the headlights action, okay? And, you know, she's been, now that she's in her older age, I think she's like into her 60s or something like that, and she still has a great body. And she has this thing about showing her breasts all the time now. She's in like international beaches, and they catch her out there, the paparazzi, and she's just, you know, flaunting them. And even in this dress, she had to also show the headlights. This is the Met Gala last night. They go with some funky stuff, dude. Seriously. That's some crazy stuff. My mic is not failing this time, right? Okay, here we go. Now we're going to get, what's it called? Anne Hathaway. Remember, I gave you the Devil Wears Prada 2 review yesterday. She looks fantastic. Anne Hathaway did not go with some kind of a joke. She's got a little bit of, you know, peace and love, all that kind of stuff there, but that's a beautiful dress, and she looks classy, right? That's a good dress there. Okay? Now I got to prepare you for the last one, because the last one, well, it's a little odd, folks, just in case if you're prepared. If you're not, here's Travis Kelce. Okay? And here we go. Travis Kelce. First of all, I thought this was Sam Smith. When I first saw it, it said Travis Kelce, and I was like, no, bro, this is Sam Smith. What are you talking about? And then I saw the Sam Smith one. It wasn't that. This was Travis Kelce last night. Oh, man. That's crazy. Oh, God. Travis Kelce. What is wrong with you, dude? Oh, man. And what the hell was that? Not only, what the hell was Travis Kelce dressed as yesterday? What was that thing? Oh, man. Let's see. So maybe it's overly cold in Heidi's picture. No. She's just... Heidi's been on this roll lately that she's like, she just wants to show off that she still has a good body at her age, which you got to give her credit. You know what I'm saying? But she's been wherever you catch her in pictures all the time, because I do this stuff for a living, obviously. And I like to keep up with pop culture to a certain extent. And not everything, but a lot of things. That way, it kind of helps you also for a show and to do things and to use analogies and things like that. It helps you when you know more about what's going on outside of sports. And you can kind of intertwine it all in a way. Heidi's high beams, exactly. That's it, Brett. Heidi's high beams. That's what we saw out there. Heidi's high beams. By the way, for those of you that were going to go to the Pussycat Doll tour, it's not going to happen. They have canceled their entire U.S. tour except one show. Okay. And Nicole Scherzinger, or whatever, is part of it. She was like the hottest Pussycat Doll out of them. You know what I'm saying? Their peak was when they were doing the NBA stuff. Remember that? That they had like a little intro into the NBA. Like, I don't know if they were games or playoffs or whatever, part of the NBA promos. They used the Pussycat Dolls. I remember back in the day. That is good. That is good. And I don't know if I think I might have mentioned it earlier. September 6th, the Psychedelic Furs and Living Color, Friday. Tickets go on sale. It's September 6th, Friday at 10 a.m. They go on sale. All right. Don't forget our friends at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. Go see Herbie Lopez, all the great people out there, man. They've got the Camry Sedan LE right now, $299 a month. Take advantage. A lot of great deals going on. And if you're looking for a Prius, you want to save yourself some gas. Those Priuses, what do they get? Like 600 miles to the gallon or some crap like that. I don't know. They get like 60 miles to the gallon or some ridiculous thing like that, which is very important in today's world. And the Prius Prime, I mean, all the Priuses now, they were so boxy and kind of geeky, and now they look like a sports car. It's pretty cool. The Prius is a really cool looking car right now. So that's another one you can get. The Corolla comes in every form and fashion. The Camry also. They got a large selection. So if you're looking for a gas or a hybrid, if you're looking for a sunroof, you want the leather package, whatever it is that you're looking for, they've got a large selection for you. And by the way, hundreds and hundreds, 2,000 cars under roof, over 1,200 new cars under roof. So you're away from the rain, you're away from the heat and humidity, and you shop in comfort. Go see Herbie Lopez. They'll take care of you there at Toyota of Hollywood. And tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. All right. Appreciate it out there. What else do we have? Magic fired Jamal Mosley. Everybody knows about that yesterday. But they've got a couple of names. Listen, I don't really care about the Magic. I kind of laugh at how much they struggle on a consistent basis. But I got to say, Mike Budenholzer is not the answer. And don't go with Tom Thibodeau, bro. He doesn't do anything except wear out your players. The other two names on the list, Billy Donovan and Dusty May. Very interesting. The whole Billy Donovan thing, I know he already left the first time, so I don't know if they want to go and revisit that. And he's a good coach overall. But I'll tell you, Dusty May, he did what he could do at FAU. Now he won a national title at Michigan. If he wants to trust his coaching acumen and go to the NBA, this is a good opportunity. If I'm the Magic, the guy I would go after is Dusty May. That's the guy I would go after. He's proven it to me now and to all of you as you constantly watch him. He's impressive, dude. He is impressive. Bitcoin is at 81,591. So trying to mess with 82. We'll get there. Not worried. 90 will be right around the corner. And of course, we'll wear this hat soon. Yeah, baby. It'll be back. I am not worried whatsoever. Just a matter of time, dude. Everything is going on track. The thing was, for those of us that we were waiting for this bull run, we're not going to get the bull run that we all really expected because of everything that the Trumper did with the tariffs and now the war and all that. If you wouldn't have done any of that, and you would have been able to, pass a little bit more of a responsible budget, you would have gotten a whole bunch of rate cuts, and that would have juiced the hell out of the markets. Instead, we got a ton of inflation now, and so it's harder to cut the rates. So the Bitcoin bull run that you're going to get is the other one that I thought was going to happen a few years from now, which is the demise of the dollar and watering down our economy even more, which is what they're doing now because they're printing at an absolutely we've never printed at this kind of a rate. And we've already indicated we're going to print more this month than we did last month. And last month was a record. So that's what's going to end up happening. The devaluing of the dollar is going to lift Bitcoin to kingdom come. And that's what will happen, folks. We got jet fuel prices going up, fertilizer, all that kind of stuff. It's tough, man. It's tough. So all that kind of stuff is what pumps Bitcoin through the roof. Through the roof. Just got to have patience and buy as much as you can and stash and buy and stash. And that's it, man. That's what it's all about, baby. That's what it's all about. Diego Pavia signed with the Baltimore Ravens, right? Most people aren't even rooting for that guy because he's a jerk. But you know that they have some guy named Lamar Jackson there. They also have Tyler Huntley. They also have a guy named Jim Fagnano. And now you've also got Skylar Thompson, former Miami Dolphins quarterback and Pittsburgh Steeler, has now signed with the Baltimore Ravens. Behind Lamar Jackson, Tyler Huntley, Joe Fagnano, Diego Pavia, and Skylar Thompson. Why not just have a turd with two legs and two arms just back up Lamar? I've never seen a group of worse backup quarterbacks in the history of my life. And I'm a Dolphins fan. I've seen some bad backup quarterbacks. When and if Lamar goes down, they have nothing, dude. They have absolutely nothing. I'm glad they stole the Raiders all-pro center. The Raiders. I'm glad the Raiders stole their all-pro center because that will really help out Lamar Jackson this year. Damn. That's a list right there of backup quarterbacks. That's a list that if I was a Ravens fan, I'm like sitting there going, the problem is that Lamar Jackson's game and that offense doesn't translate to any other player because only Lamar Jackson does this crazy stuff with this sandlot football shit. And he's the only one that can do that kind of stuff. So it's hard to have somebody backing up to run practically the same offense because they don't move like him. And he doesn't even move like he used to. That's why he's breaking down more because he's getting hit more. But I saw that backup group, and that is bad, dude. That is bad. Brett says, Big O, I honestly never look at the short-term markets myself. It's just noise in the big picture. Isn't it? That's why I never get flustered. You see me that I never get flustered? It does not matter. I don't ever worry about that kind of stuff. You know, I know exactly why we have the volatility, and then my job and your job is to take advantage of that volatility. Because it's what we say on the show. Volatility is opportunity. Not that I'm a financial advisor, by the way. I know nothing. I see nothing. I hear nothing. Nothing. I don't know anything. I'm just saying. So, yes, Brett, I'm with you 100% on that one. 100%. Yeah. All right, folks, we are out of here. We appreciate all of you for tuning in as always. Thank you. If you hit the like button, if you made a donation to the show, we appreciate you immensely. We shall see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.